Alright guys, welcome back. Not sure if the video shows it, but you can see the smoke in the trees over there. I just let the muzzleloader roll. It's been a tough season so far. A few weeks back, I was hunting and I hadn't been seeing many deer, and I was like, well, I needed another meat deer. So I went out and I said, basket rack or bigger, and I'm shooting it. And it looked like what I thought was a basket rack 6 walked out in front of me. I was hunting really close quarters, and so I couldn't get a lot of footage of the deer coming up. It just kind of popped up on me and was moving. And by the time I situated the cameras, they weren't even situated, and he was staring at me. He saw me. So I was like, now or never. So I shot him. And he was really a crazy deer. When I went to go pick him up, his rack was moving. And I was wondering, I was like, why in the world is this rack moving? And it was his whole skull plate was broken. It was crazy. Alright guys, well, here's my deer. I told myself I was going to shoot a basket rack or bigger, and this was a basket rack, but I thought he was a 6 or an 8, but he's actually just a 4. But I want to show you something weird. I have to figure out where I shot him, but watch this. This moves. Like his whole skull is cracked. I don't know if he did that when he crashed. There's swelling right here, so I think he did that before. Have you ever killed a deer like this? Look. His whole skull is broken. I mean, he could have done that when he crashed, but all of this is swollen. I think he broke his thing fighting another deer or something. And my best guess is that he did that fighting. That's how hard they fight. But I was curious of what it looked like underneath. I was like, how is his skull plate moving and it's not killing him? Well, I went home and I dissected it and I pulled it out. And it kind of sheared. But it didn't break all the way through to the brain. It just sheared the top of the bone off. Have you ever had that happen? Anyway, so I've been bouncing around stands for the last 9 days. I think today is the 9th day. And it has been dry. I mean, not literally dry, it's just dry as far as seeing deer. I hadn't seen any deer. So I was like, well, I'm going to switch spots. I only hunt this stand a couple of times a year, not very often. And so I crept in here this morning, and this hunt happened really fast. So check this out. Well, that happened fast. I didn't even have time to I had my GoPro strapped to my head is the only reason I captured any of that, because I was sitting here and I wasn't seeing anything, and the woods are super quiet because it rained all night last night. Let's see what time it is. It is Monday, November 28th at 8:01. I shot that deer at 8 o'clock. Now, I'm watching out this way, anticipating the deer coming from this way, and the squirrels start barking over here. And I'm like, okay, there's something coming, and I'm staring over there, but I'm looking out this side of the tree, and some deer came up from straight behind me, and I couldn't see from that way. This tree's kind of big. And I heard something stepping around beneath me, and it sounded like a deer running off, and I just turned around real fast, and I saw a doe run off. And I was like, oh man, I turned the camera on, and there were 2 more does standing below me. I mean, like 15 yards below me. Like, just right there. And luckily enough, they weren't worried about me because there was a buck chasing them. And so I looked back behind them, and like 20 yards behind them, there was this little 8-point. I think he's an 8-point. It happened so fast, I didn't have time to count the points. But, I mean, all I had enough time to do was to cock my hammer and shoot. Like, there was no time. And the smoke is still lingering in the trees back there. If you can see it, it just kind of drifted up into the tree branches. It's a smoke sitting right there. But at least it blew it out of here. Technically, I could still shoot 3 does today, so I may hang out a minute, see if anything else happens. That's a hot doe. I hate that I can't shoot but 1 buck in a day, but I'm glad I got that guy. So, anyways, I don't know if you can see it right here, but my buck is down right there. I mean, he's 30 yards from the tree. So, I'm going to give it a few more minutes just to kind of see what's going on. And I'm going to get to dragging because I got to get that dude out of here. Booyah! The rut is on. November the 28th in West Tennessee, that buck was chasing 3 does, like on top of them chasing them. The rut is kicking. Now is the best time. Alright guys, I just climbed down. I could see my deer sitting right over there. But from up in the tree, looking down, it looked like these woods were wide open. But if you'll look, I mean, you can't see very far because of the ground cover. You see all this cane, like this bamboo stalk or whatever this is, plus all these little sapling trees. This is what makes these deer feel comfortable. But when you get way up there, over 20 feet, you're looking down in here, it looks wide open. But it's not. I mean, it's just, it looks thick from the ground, which is what the deer like. And the other reason they're in here is because of these. The ground is just coated with them. I don't know, he's bigger than what I thought he was. That's him. Let me get the leaves off of him. Look at that, would you? That is a nice buck. It's taken me a long time to get one on the ground. Alright guys, well that's him. I am in the Mississippi River bottoms in West Tennessee on some public land, and I've been hunting for 9 days straight, and I could hardly even see a deer. I've seen 2 deer in the last 9 days. 2. They were both bucks, but I just couldn't get on any deer. And last night I called everybody I know that hunts and was asking them about if they've seen any rutting activity, because I hadn't seen any. And so everybody said, well, they've seen a little bit, some pushing with some younger bucks pushing does, but nobody has seen any rutting activity. Well, here it is. It's Monday, November 28th, and this buck was right on 3 does and ran them right under the tree. So I think it's safe to say that they're rutting. He stinks to high heaven, guys. I know you can't smell him through the camera, but I'm smelling him for you, and he is rank. But that's him. Not a mega giant or anything, but for a public land deer in Tennessee, that's a pretty good deer. So I'm gonna go to my truck, get my cart, bring it out here, get him gutted. I'm gonna save his tarsal glands and I'm gonna hunt with those for the next couple of days. Load them up in a Ziploc baggie. I would always do that if you get some good scented tarsal glands. But hopefully I can shoot another one before the end of the week. I've had 3 buck tags this year because I shot one doe in the CWD county and had it tested. And so I killed that little 4-point the other day. And then I killed this guy, and I'm going to try to get one more, at least this big or bigger. We'll see how it goes. But nice deer. Catch you guys next time. Y'all have a good one.